Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bachelor Nation News. Fans, the Golden Bachelor Mansion was eerily quiet that evening. Outside, the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery streaks of orange and purple. Inside, however, tension crackled like static electricity. Mel, the enigmatic and charming bachelor whose heart had captivated the nation, sat in the lounge swirling a glass of red wine. His eyes, usually sparkling with mischief, were clouded with hesitation. Tonight was not a typical evening of laughter or flirtatious banter. Tonight was the night before hometown dates, the pivotal moment every contestant lived for and feared in equal measure. Mel leaned back in his chair, staring at the ornate fireplace. He had always prided himself on being decisive, on following his heart. Yet for the first time in the entire season, doubt gnawed at him. Not because he didn't feel connections. He did, perhaps too many. "Nell, are you okay?" came a soft voice from behind him. It was Cindy, radiant as ever, her eyes full of concern. She had a way of approaching him that made him feel like he could confide his deepest fears without judgment. I don't know," Mel admitted, voice low. I don't know if I'm ready to choose. The thought of picking two when my heart is tugged in 3 different directions, it scares me." Cindy stepped closer, sitting beside him. "You've always trusted your instincts before. Maybe this is just your heart testing you. You've got to listen carefully, not to everyone else, but to yourself." Mel nodded, appreciating her insight. Yet the weight of expectation pressed on him from every angle: the audience, the family introductions, even the contestants themselves. Each hometown date was not just a test of compatibility, but a public stage for his deepest emotions. That night, before the hometowns, the women gathered in the Rose Lounge, whispering in hushed tones. Debbie, the fiery and outspoken contestant, paced back and forth, frustration written all over her face. "I can't believe he hasn't made his decision yet. He keeps playing everyone like a piano. Who does he even like? Does he even know what he wants?" Across the room, Cindy and another contestant, the soft-spoken and mysterious Vanessa, exchanged wary glances. Cindy had always been open with her feelings, while Vanessa played the long game, silent but strategic. Each woman had carved a space in Mel's heart, but now tension twisted every smile and compliment into a potential battlefield. Vanessa finally broke the silence. "I think he's torn," she said quietly. "And the more uncertain he is, the more mistakes people make. That's why some of us have to be careful with what we show him." Cindy's eyes narrowed, sensing the subtle warning. "Careful? I don't think anyone should have to play games with their feelings. That's not why we're here." Debbie snorted. "Feelings. This isn't about feelings. It's about survival. Only the ones who can navigate his uncertainty get a rose." The air was thick with anticipation. Tomorrow, Mel would meet their families, and as Cindy, Debbie, and Vanessa silently strategized, none could shake the feeling that this was about to get messy. That night, Mel withdrew to his private suite. He opened his journal, something he had kept hidden all season. Words flowed like a river, a mixture of fear, hope, and longing. "How do I choose?" he wrote. "I feel sparks with Cindy, her honesty, her warmth. But Debbie, her fire draws me in, even when it scares me. And Vanessa, there's a calm I can't ignore, a mystery I want to unravel. How do I pick between them without breaking hearts?" His phone buzzed with a message from the producer. "Tomorrow's hometown dates are scheduled. Please confirm your choices." Mel stared at the screen. His heart raced. A decision had to be made tonight, or the drama would consume him tomorrow. The next morning, the women awoke to a tense atmosphere. Breakfast was unusually quiet, each contestant aware that today would reveal Mel's intentions. When he finally entered the dining room, his presence drew immediate attention, but instead of a confident smile, he wore a hesitant frown. "Good morning," he said softly. "Before we start, I need to be honest with all of you. I have reservations." The room went silent. Debbie raised her eyebrow, Cindy's hands trembled slightly, and Vanessa's expression was unreadable. "Reservations?" Debbie repeated, voice dripping with disbelief. "About what?" Melon held deeply. "About who I'm going to take to hometowns. I've been struggling with this. My heart feels divided." The tension was palpable. This was not what anyone expected. Contestants exchanged glances, each wondering if their connection was strong enough to withstand Mel's doubt. Cindy, ever the empathetic one, reached out. "Mel, it's okay to be honest. We want you to be sure, not just rushed into a decision." Mel smiled faintly, grateful. But deep down, he knew that honesty could either save him or shatter the fragile trust he had built. As the limousine arrived to take the chosen contestants to their hometowns, Mel made his shocking announcement. "After a lot of thought, I've decided to take Debbie and Cindy." Gasps filled the room. Vanessa's calm facade faltered. "Wait, Vanessa?" she said, disbelief plain in her voice. "I know this might be surprising," Mel said gently. "Vanessa, you're amazing, but my connection with Debbie and Cindy feels deeper, more immediate. This is the choice my heart tells me to make." Cindy's eyes welled with tears, and Debbie's jaw tightened as she masked a mix of excitement and anxiety. Vanessa, composed but hurt, nodded slowly. "I guess this is the way it has to be." As the limousine doors closed, Mel realized that his reservations were not a weakness. They were a sign that love was complicated, messy, and worth
The ride to
fighting for.
Debbie's hometown was tense, but electric. Debbie sat upright, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. She was all fire and determination, but there was a hint of vulnerability beneath the surface. She wanted her family to approve, but she also feared revealing too much. Cindy, sitting across from Mel, tried to offer a reassuring smile. "It's going to be okay," she whispered, her voice soft but sincere. "Just be yourself." Mel glanced at both of them, feeling the weight of his decision. "I want today to be perfect, but I also want to be honest with both of you, and with myself. That's the only way this can work." Debbie smirked. "Mel, honesty is my middle name. Don't worry, I can handle it." Cindy chuckled nervously, sensing Debbie's fiery personality. She knew that Debbie's fiery personality could ignite tension, even unintentionally. Meeting Debbie's family. The first stop was Debbie's hometown, a charming suburban house buzzing with activity. Debbie's parents greeted Mel warmly, though a flicker of concern crossed her mother's face. She had seen Debbie protect her heart fiercely before, and meeting the Golden Bachelor meant opening herself to scrutiny. "Mel, it's so nice to meet you," Debbie's father said, extending a firm handshake. "We've heard a lot about you." Mel smiled politely, trying to hide the nervous flutter in his chest. "The pleasure is mine. Debbie's told me so much about all of you. It's wonderful to finally meet you." The family tour was filled with laughter and stories from Debbie's childhood, but tension simmered beneath the surface. Mel noticed subtle glances exchanged between her parents, evaluating him, judging him, and silently asking, "Is he the one who will make our daughter happy?" During dinner, Debbie's protective instincts kicked in. "Mom, Dad, I want you to know that Mel is really serious about this, but I need you to see for yourselves, not just take my word for it." Mel watched her closely, impressed by her honesty and courage. Yet, even as he felt his heart lean toward Debbie, a pang of guilt gnawed at him. Cindy awaited him in her hometown, and he knew the day ahead could shift everything. Cindy's turn, the emotional homecoming. Next, Mel and Cindy traveled to her hometown, a quaint coastal town bathed in the golden glow of afternoon sun. Cindy's family, warm and welcoming, embraced Mel immediately, though there was an undercurrent of curiosity in their eyes. "Mel, it's so nice to finally meet you," Cindy's mother said, holding his hand. "We've heard wonderful things." Her younger brother, shy but observant, studied Mel silently, and Cindy noticed immediately. "Don't worry, he just wants to make sure you're a good guy." As they walked along the beach, Cindy shared stories of her childhood, her dreams, and the challenges she had faced. Mel listened intently, feeling a connection deepen with every word. The ocean breeze carried laughter, and for a moment it felt like the world outside the Golden Bachelor mansion didn't exist. Yet Mel's reservations lingered. His heart was split. Debbie's fiery energy called to him, while Cindy's genuine warmth and vulnerability anchored him in a different kind of love. Unforeseen tensions. Back at the mansion, Vanessa's absence was felt keenly. Though she had been eliminated from hometown consideration, rumors circulated that she might still influence Mel's emotions. Whispers of what-ifs and missed chances floated through the mansion like a storm on the horizon. Meanwhile, Debbie and Cindy, unaware of the subtle manipulations and emotional undercurrents, continued to charm Mel with their unique personalities. Debbie's daring, spontaneous energy contrasted sharply with Cindy's calm, introspective nature. Mel found himself oscillating between the two, drawn to both, but yet knowing he couldn't keep the fantasy alive forever. The shocking revelation. The evening ended with a private reflection for Mel. Sitting alone in Cindy's living room, he pulled out his journal once more. "Debbie's fire, Cindy's heart," he wrote. "How do I pick without breaking one of them? Am I ready to hurt someone I care deeply about?" His phone buzzed with a text from the Golden Bachelor producers. "Final rose ceremony tomorrow. Make your final choice." Mel's stomach twisted. Tomorrow, everything would change. And he wasn't sure if anyone, himself included, was truly ready for what was about to happen. As the night deepened, Mel stood on the balcony staring at the town below. The waves crashed softly in the distance, echoing the turmoil in his heart. He whispered to himself, barely audible over the ocean wind, "Can I really do this? Can I choose without regret, without destroying hearts?" The camera panned out, leaving viewers with one chilling question. Who will Mel really take to the final rose ceremony? And will his reservations cost him the love he desperately wants?
The final rose ceremony arrived, and the Golden Bachelor mansion buzzed with nervous energy. The contestants, Debbie, Cindy, and the other women eliminated earlier, stood in the Rose Lounge, hearts pounding. Cameras captured every twitch of emotion, every flicker of doubt. Mel emerged from his suite, impeccably dressed, but tense, his jaw tight. He took a deep breath, knowing this would be the day that determined the rest of his love story. "Good evening, everyone," he began, voice steady but filled with gravity. "Tonight, I have to make one of the hardest decisions of my life." The room fell silent. Even the crew seemed to hold their breath. Debbie's challenge. Debbie, fiery as ever, stepped forward, trying to mask her nervousness with confidence. "Mel, I know I'm not the easiest person to understand, but I also know what I want, and what I want is you. I fought for this, and I won't back down." Mel's eyes softened. He admired her determination, her courage, and her unfiltered passion, but as he looked at her, he also felt a twinge of fear. Debbie's intensity was intoxicating, but was it enough to sustain a lifelong relationship? Cindy's moment. Cindy, serene and radiant, stepped forward next. "Mel, I've been honest from the start. I'm falling for you," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "And I need to know if you feel the same. I can't hide my feelings anymore." Her vulnerability hit Mel like a tidal wave. Cindy's honesty, her willingness to open her heart completely made him ache. He wanted to give her everything, but he also knew that Debbie's fiery spirit had captured a different part of his soul. The unexpected twist. Just as Mel opened his mouth to speak, the doors burst open. Vanessa, who had been eliminated from the hometown round, entered the room. "Mel, I need to say something before you decide," she said, her eyes blazing. "I may not have gone to hometowns, but my heart is still in this with you." Gasps echoed through the room. Debbie's jaw tightened, Cindy's eyes widened in shock. Mel froze, torn between the woman he had hoped to choose and the unexpected twist that now threatened to unravel everything. "Vanessa," he stammered, I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything yet. Just think carefully. Don't let fear or hesitation make you choose someone who isn't meant to be." Mel's heart raced. For the first time, he questioned everything: the hometowns, the roses, even the fairness of the process. Confessions and confrontations. Debbie, unable to contain herself, stepped forward. "Mel, I've been honest. I fight for what I want, but I also don't play games. If you hesitate because of someone who's already gone, then maybe I'm wasting my time." Cindy's voice broke through the tension. "Mel, no matter what, I've given you my heart, but I need to know, are you sure about your feelings?" Mel looked from Debbie to Cindy to Vanessa, each representing a different path, a different kind of love. His reservations, the doubts he had tried to suppress, surfaced with full force. "How do I choose?" he thought. "How can I hurt anyone?" A heart-wrenching decision. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Mel took a deep breath and stepped toward the center of the Rose Lounge. Cameras captured every beat of his heart, every trembling movement. He began, "I've thought long and hard, and I realize love isn't always about comfort or ease. Sometimes it's about fire. It's about passion. It's about who challenges you to grow." Debbie's eyes lit up. Cindy's hands trembled. Vanessa held her breath. Mel continued, "Debbie, your fire, your courage, your honesty, it's everything I've been searching for. You make me want to be better every single day." Debbie's lips parted in shock, and tears welled in her eyes. "And Cindy," he said, turning to her, "your heart, your warmth, it's pure and real. I will always cherish the connection we have, but I know where my heart belongs." Cindy's tears spilled freely. Her voice barely a whisper. I understand, Mel." Vanessa nodded slowly, her disappointment tempered by grace. "I hope you both find happiness," she said softly. The final rose. Mel reached into his pocket and pulled out the final rose. With a steady hand, he extended it toward Debbie. "This rose, it's yours. I want you to be my partner, my love, my future." Debbie gasped, overcome with emotion. She took the rose, holding it close as tears streamed down her face. "Yes, Mel, yes!" The room erupted in applause. Cindy stepped forward to hug Debbie, her heartbreak tempered by grace. Even Vanessa offered a supportive smile. Mel watched them all, feeling the weight of his choice, but also the relief that he had finally been honest with himself and with them. Epilogue. Mel's reflections. Later that night, Mel sat alone in the mansion garden. The moon shimmered on the water, and the gentle breeze carried the scent of blooming flowers. It wasn't easy, he thought. It never is when love is real. He held Debbie's rose in his hand, feeling the warmth of possibility. Though he had reservations, though the road ahead would be filled with challenges, one thing was clear. He had chosen the path that felt true to his heart. And for Mel, that was worth every sleepless night, every doubt, and every tear shed along the way.